Future-proof your life and career. Holy Cross College of Management and Technology. Affiliated to Mahatma Gandhi University. Tied up with reputed universities in USA. Set amidst a sprawling 27-acre campus, just 20 kilometers off Thekari. Close to Kerala's first ever Spice Park. 4,000 feet above sea level at temperature that's always been 15 to 22 degrees Celsius. Faculty and facilities at par with the best in the state. Offering BBA, BCA, BTTM, BCom Computer Application, BCom Finance and Taxation, BA English Literature, Communication and Journalism, MCom Finance, MTTM, MHRM. Guided by reputed and competent educationists, preferred by students and parents alike. 100% placement assistance. Study, play, flourish. Holy Cross College of Management and Technology, Puttadi PO, Vandanmede, Idukki.
അഡ്മിഷൻ ഒന്നും ആയില്ലേ?
ദേ അഡ്മിഷൻ ചൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്നത് കൊള്ളാം, പക്ഷേ ഫ്യൂച്ചർ ഫോക്കസ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് വേണം.
Hey, what happened? Cool. Holy Cross.
Holy Cross College of Management and Technology, Puttadi.
BCom Finance and Taxation, Computer Application and Corporation. BA English Literature, Communication and Journalism. BSc Mathematics. BBA, BTTM and BSc. MHRM, MA English and MTTM. MCom Finance and MSc Computer Science. ഹരിതഭംഗിയാൽ അലങ്കൃതമാം ഈ ക്യാമ്പസ്, ഒപ്പം സുഖശീതളമായ അന്തരീക്ഷം. ഞങ്ങൾ ഈ ക്യാമ്പസിൽ സുരക്ഷിതർ, അതിനാൽ ഞങ്ങളുടെ പേരൻസ് സംതൃപ്തരും. അതോടൊപ്പം ഞങ്ങൾ വിശ്വസിക്കുന്നു ഞങ്ങളുടെ ഭാവിയും സുരക്ഷിതമാണ്.
I'm Polly from Mundakayam. I'm employed in Infosys Mysore, a graduation from esteemed Holy Cross College of Management and Technology, Puttadi.
Holy Cross College of Management and Technology, Puttadi, Idukki.
The manager of the Holy Cross College, Ms. M.K. Skaria, the principal, Professor Srijesh, Mr. Thomas Abraham, the HOD of the Computer Department, Mr. Sukumar, the Associate Director of the Evolution Careers, Salem, all the staff and students of the college, and all the participants of the webinar conducted on 7th July 2020. I am very happy to address you all on this solemn occasion. We live in a digitalized world, especially because of the pandemic COVID-19. The world is changing, and the world would be changing faster. In the education sector, online platform is catching up very forcefully. The universities, the colleges, and even the schools are depending on the online platform for imparting education. We live in a digitalized world. We often hear about the digital divide. Especially in the education sector, we are going to overcome the digital divide. The poor children, if they are provided with a tab or a computer or a mobile phone, they would easily catch up with the website world. In this world of website as well as the online learning, we have to work hard to catch up with the possibilities of the digital world. We are very happy that many participants are joining in this webinar, which is called Offline to Online, Survive in the Digital World. We have to survive in the digital world. The students have to survive. I wish you all success on this occasion of the webinar, and I hope that this will be a fruitful occasion for all of you. Myself, Thomas Timotheus Metropolitan, Chairman of the Holy Cross College, Puttadi, Idiki. Thank you.
Hi, all of you. Welcome to the Evolution Careers YouTube live channel. Today we have international webinar on the topic online to offline, conducted jointly by Holy Cross College of Management and Technology, Puttadi, Idiki, Kerala, and Evolution Careers, Salem, Tamil Nadu, India. I am the speaker for the session, and Mr. Richardson is the host for the session. The event is jointly organized with us by Professor Thomas Abraham, the head of the Department Computer Applications, Holy Cross College of Management and Technology. We are soon starting the live session. Right now the session is on with the prayer and other formalities that is carried out. So kindly hold online for a few minutes while we go into the topic. Thanks for viewing and watching, and please stay online until the end of the session to get insights about the much needed thing of the hour, how to survive in the virtual world, how we have to move from offline to online in this present COVID-19 lockdown situation. Happy learning, stay home, stay safe, and let's all develop the country together, our motherlands together, and let's make it much more interesting, and let's adapt to the situation, and let's have these things on place. Thank you. Please hold on. Hope I am audible to all of you. I am Sukumar, the speaker for the session. Please hold on in our this channel for some time, as we have the opening ceremony formalities, and it's going to end in a short while, in another 5 minutes from now. Thank you one and all. Thank you Holy Cross College of Management and Technology. Thanks Mr. Richardson, and special thanks to Professor Thomas Abraham, the HOD, Head of the Department Computer Applications, Holy Cross College of Management and Technology. I am Sukumar, the speaker for this session, and it's my pleasure and privilege to address the huge crowd in this international webinar, and this opportunity has been possible with the humongous efforts taken by Professor Thomas Abraham and the entire management of the Holy Cross College of Management and Technology, Puttadi, Idiki, Kerala. So, first and foremost, a short introduction about myself before going into the topic. I am Sukumar. I completed my Bachelor of Engineering in Mechatronics Engineering from Pongu College of Engineering, Erode District, India. And I joined Emerson Process Management as a graduate engineer trainee, and then I worked in procurement and project management fields across companies: Emerson Process Management, Close-Out, Beer Group, Beer Minerals, and then ABB, and then I worked in the Seaworks, Qatar, for quite some time. Passion, I have a lot of passions, and one of them amongst those passions is mentoring and career guidance. So I had thought to get into this, and I have started this. I have joined this organization as the associate director last year, and since now I have been actively involved in career counseling mentoring, and sharing a lot of knowledge through various webinars across all streams and catering to all universities. This is one thing, and the next one about Evolution Careers. Evolution Careers is a training, placement and career guidance firm. It's established in the year 2013, and we have successfully trained more than 50,000 students and a lot of corporates until now. We have a good record in placements, and a lot of our trainees, the training participants have been successfully working across various industrial streams. Now, coming into the topic, I hope I am audible to all of you. If there is any issues with the audio, please ping, and also please comment in the YouTube live link. Okay. Let me go into the topic: offline to online, surviving the virtual world. What we are going to see today. Why we need to have a discussion on this topic. Let me put it this way. All these days, we used to predominantly do everything in offline mode, or the physical mode, or in the real world mode. And today, due to COVID-19 pandemic lockdown situation all across the globe, we are forced to go into a mode where all of us, this online mode has been available quite since more than a decade, and I was using it effectively since I joined my industrial career way back in 2007. But it is not widely in place or implemented in place. What happened due to this COVID lockdown situation is we are forced to go into a scenario where we have to do everything online, or majority of things online. Why? Because the situation is like that. If you want to learn, you have to learn online. If you want to do a transaction, you have to do it online. You have to speak to someone, you cannot go and meet them in person, you have to have a virtual conferencing. If you have to conduct a meeting, you have to do it through virtual meeting platforms. But there are a lot of things that have come up because of this. This COVID-19 situation, this pandemic situation, had made us to force us to go into a scenario wherein we are exploring a lot of new things, new things. How we can effectively use this online platform more to carry out things which we have been doing it offline all these days. We have started adapting to it. Yes, few of us are still not comfortable with it. Few of us still want to go back to the same offline mode. That depends on the individual to individual. But if you see on the overall picture, what is happening? If you see on the overall picture, what is happening? Because of this, a lot of us have gained a lot of opportunities. If you take even the faculties, the students, and a lot of industrial people, they have utilized this COVID-19 lockdown situation to do a lot of learning activities. I have come across, when I was discussing with one college faculty about 3 weeks ago, that faculty has told some of their college faculty members have got about 355 webinar certificates. I got surprised. 60 days, every day, from morning to evening, all through the day, they have been attending webinars non-stop. National, international, conducted by college, conducted by someone else. And they have attended almost 60 plus 15, 75 topics of webinars we conducted too. Almost reputed staff, the respected corporate, has attended about 60 of the 75 webinars we conducted in this lockdown period. So they have started utilizing this to gain a lot of knowledge. Let us take this scenario. When it was a normal scenario, in a 60-day period, would we have got this amount of, leave about 355 webinars, at least say one webinar a day or one topic of learning a day, 60 topics or maybe 50 topics over a period of 60 days. Is it possible for us in the normal scenario to make it happen? How much effort is needed by a huge team working to conduct each and every event in a college or in a company or be it anywhere else? You have to arrange the conference halls, you have to arrange the auditoriums, you have to check the audio video systems. There should be a team of say 10 to 20 people working if there are 100 to 200 participants. You have to take care of the refreshments, you have to take care of the hospitality in total, the to and fro travels, transportation, logistics, lot of things are involved. Now, with this online, what has happened? You are sitting in the place you are utilizing the infrastructure available to you, be it the internet, be it your laptop or your laptop, the smartphones. The smartphones today are to be called as laptops because nowadays we can do every activity using a mobile. Maybe it takes a little bit more time compared to a desktop or a laptop, but if you are used to it, you can utilize this mobile to the effective possible way, the smartphones especially, the high-level Androids and the iOS phones, wherein you can carry out the entire business activities or the learning activities of you using just the mobile phone, which I call the smartest device gadget we have. Of course, if you use it wisely and not in the unwanted ways. So this is how things have been going on. So what we have to do right now, how we have to adapt ourselves. What we have observed is still there are a lot of people who are finding it difficult to adapt to the situations. Still there are a lot of people trying to find it difficult to adapt into the situation. Why? Because they are not accustomed to it. So they find it a lot of difficulty to get into this online mode. They feel that it is a temporary. They are feeling that this is temporary. So once it goes back to normal, we can get into the normal mode and then we can go back to the physical activities. It doesn't mean that you need to stop all the physical activities. Yes, manufacturing industries, we cannot make things online. Yes, with the Industry 4.0 and a lot of industrial automation activities in place, we can convert a lot of activities into online, and only the physical manufacturing where the real physical activity is needed, we can continue with the physical activity. Apart from that, yes, I don't find any reason. For me personally, I don't find any reason to conduct everything physically, because from my experience and from the experiences I have seen in my industrial career of 13 plus years, what I want to say is, we used to conduct virtual meetings, at least 3 meetings every month. At least 3 meetings every month. Way back in our, what I am saying is, since 2007, this is my personal experience. And prior to that also, there were virtual meetings conducted using Cisco platforms and those days, whatever it is there. But now, the things, every one of us is being forced into this to do, where it was earlier optional and it was up to the choice of the organization to carry out. And for your kind information, online learning and online teaching has been in India since 2010, up to my knowledge. It is way back, it is much earlier than that. I used it in the year 2010 and 2010 to 12 for doing my PGDBA for my post-graduation. I had chosen a flexi mode, and the institute I had chosen, they had virtual classes, the pre-recorded class sessions, and also live classes going on. Live classes schedule, they will post it in the student login. So whenever I go there, I can mark my calendars, and if I want to attend, I can go on it. After the live session is over, the same video will be posted in the portal, in the student portal. It is accessible for us. We can watch it anytime we want. So this is how it started. This is how I experienced it. So when an online learning or an online activity or a virtual meetings was possible since a couple of decades or maybe more than a decade, why we are finding it difficult to adapt to the situation? Why our thought process is not accepting it still? Why the thought process? We are still sticking to the same age-old instincts, age-old traditional methodology. Yes, certain systems has to be systematic. I am not saying to deviate from the system, but what about the situation? Say when situation is saying you cannot go and meet one person physically to get a physical signature on a document, why can't you use an email approval or a system-based approval, wherein you can have an ERP system wherein if according to the approval levels, if they click on it, it shows approved by so and so. Why can't you use that technology instead of that still going on the same age-old of paperwork? And for your kind information, there is a lot of deforestation happening and enough amount of afforestation is not happening. And as a result of this, we will be running short of papers, or the papers are going to be too costly in near future. Maybe in next 5 years or 10 years, we are going to face acute shortage of paper. So we have to move into digital world. This is the need of the hour. And since the industry has guessed it quite earlier, and they find it a lot of difficulties in maintaining the entire paperwork, every industry has started digitalization way back. Up to my knowledge, they have started it since 10 years, and in the last 5 years, the digitalization has been at a rapid pace. Especially in the companies I work, complete digitalization was happening. Yes, complete digitalization. Very less paperwork. And in certain companies, there is a limit. Every individual can consume only 100 A4 sheets of paper a month to take printouts. 100 A4 sheets a month per individual. Restriction. Otherwise, they have to buy on their own. So when you say for office usage, you have to spend your money from pocket, definitely you will hesitate to do it. So company has put that scenario, and they have stopped tissue papers. Yes, in India, certain companies wherein tissue papers are not mandatory. Instead, they have kept handouts, sanitized handouts. Every often they have been recycled, and limitation of tissue papers. Tissue papers in the pantries. I am not talking about the washrooms. When you go into a cafeteria or pantry, there used to be a tap or the lotions that is available for hand wash lotions available over there. You can do the hand wash and then you can you can bring your own handkerchiefs. Literally, we have forgot the culture of handkerchiefs the moment we started adapting into tissue papers. So, companies, why I am talking about this is about the papers. Don't think I am deviating from the topic, because shortage of papers is going to happen. So very soon every one of us will be forced to move into digital. So why to wait until the last minute? We have got this opportunity to transform completely into digital to the maximum possible extent. Why can't we use this? Use this superb opportunity to go digital and make things happen at a faster pace. How digitalization will help us, or the online world or the virtual world will help us to do things faster? How? It will very easily reduce lot of time, lot of money, and lot of hard work, physical hard work. Lot of physical hard work. So, just a moment. A lot of physical hard work will once again. Lot of physical hard work. So, why we have to unnecessarily waste a lot of our time and physical energy on things which can be done with very minimal usage of physical energy and time. See, for example, let us take this international webinar itself as a scenario. Dr. Thomas Abraham, I'm not sure whether he is a doctor or alone a professor. I'll rather call him as a professor. Professor Thomas Abraham, along with my team, has been working too hard and too smart since last 10 days, if I am not wrong, to make this event such magnanimous. They were working maybe until 2 a.m., 3 a.m. Just imagine if a person from Salem and a person from Idiki, maybe close to 500-600 kilometers apart, have to meet every day. Is that possible? No. They have been doing video calls, they have been chatting over the messaging applications, they have been on calls. Every now and then, every day, they have been working hard. And every day when after the call happens, when we open the registration sheet, we used to find at least on an average 300 registrations happening, 200 to 300 registrations on an average happening per day. How it happened? All this, did it happen in a physical way? No. This happened by usage of technology and by usage of online means. If Professor Thomas Abraham would have decided to conduct it as a physical or the normal mode of webinar or international seminar, the seminar is the physical mode one and webinar is the web-based one, which we are doing it right now. So, if Dr. Thomas would have thought, okay fine, let me do it. physically. If let us say COVID-19 situation was not there, in a normalcy situation, how this would have happened? This would have happened in the normalcy way. And to have 300 participants or say 3000 participants, how much amount of time, money and energy, man hours they have to spend on making these arrangements possible? I can say definitely, easily 100 times of the hard work that has been put in now. So now we have effectively made it. It's not because just we have made it. This is going to be the future. So let's not think that okay, we can go back to the normalcy thing and we can start back things. That's our basic problem. When an unknown or unexpected situation happens, we always tend to go back to the things rather than trying to continue the implementation of things that we have learned during this period. Why? Because is that we have a lot of adaptability issues. We have a lot of mindset issues. The basic problem here is the mindset of us. Our mindset is fixed in certain things. We have to do this way only. We are not bothered about the updations happening in the world. We are not bothering about things that are happening in around us. We are not bothered about the things that are happening in the industries or within industries itself. The advanced industries, what they are following, we are not ready to follow. Why we are not ready to follow? There is a problem. What is the problem? One is adaptability. Second one is belief on the system, belief on the new system. Third one, repulsion to the change that's happening. And all these are happening because of the mindset. Why this mindset becomes an issue? I don't say an issue, rather than it is not willing to adapt to the current scenarios. Mark these words. Online world is going to be the future. Online world is going to be the future. Digitalization is going to be the future. Paperwork is going to stop. And this I heard from a lot of eminent speakers when I was working with industry, a lot of industrialists. They have made it very stringent norms. Companies like ABB, Emerson, Infosys, a lot of companies, almost all the corporate giants, the global corporate giants have made it a policy that minimal usage of paper. If unnecessary printout has been taken, the employee will be asked questions. Why this is happening? Yes, certain things they have to follow stringent norms to get things in. Stringent norms to get things in. There is no other option. Okay, let's put it this way. So, why we are still having that thought process or the mindset issues? Why? Because we have the thinking that yes, what we are following is only permanent. Change is the only thing that keeps happening. Things will change. Every day things will change. There is nothing called fixed in this world. There are certain things that are fixed. Yes, patriotism is fixed one, or love and affection on parents is a fixed one. Lot of other things are fixed. So, when it comes to the updation in the lifestyle, the trends, everything is not fixed. It's not fixed. It keeps changing. That are happening. Otherwise, you will be finding a lot of difficulties in surviving this world. Okay. Let's see what are the adaptability factors needed. Why we have to move into this virtual world? I have explained to a certain extent, and in broader view, it reduces a lot of physical effort, it reduces a lot of overhead costs both for industries, academic institutes and a lot many. See, right now if you want to run a college for 1,000 students or an industry for 1,000 people, you can do it with a 300 seating capacity. Earlier you have to have a seating capacity of maybe 1,200, keeping 20% for expansion purpose or a buffering purpose. So now with 1/3 or maybe 1/4, you can do it. You can do it. You can make things happen. So things are going to change this way. What this will do? The overhead costs. A lot of thousands of bucks, be it Indian rupees or the Saudi riyals or Qatari riyals, the US dollars or the Canadian dollars, or name it any currency in which the office is running. They are spending lots and lots of money on the overhead costs, operational costs. With this forced work from home or the digitalized working, this overhead costs have got reduced. These overhead costs has got reduced, and for employees, for students, what is the benefit? They need not to travel around. They need not to travel maybe 1 hour or 2 hours, or certain people even travel 6 hours a day to come into work. Work to home, home to workplace and workplace to home. The commuting time for certain people, they are spending almost 6 hours a day in commuting alone. These things will now go off. Already gone off. If we continue this, these things will not be in existence. And when you reduce commuting, the usage of private vehicles reduces. As a result, you are preserving the environment or reducing the pollution. Let's not consider reducing the pollution as a major factor. Still, let's consider this way. The health issues that are arising because of the wear and tear your body is experiencing due to this exhaustive travel. That is safe. See, there are cases wherein people from Arakonam travel to Chennai every day for work and then go back to their homes. By train, by passenger train, they commute 2 hours a day in train itself, and then 30 minutes local travel to office. So 5 hours a day. Their commuting period is 5 hours a day only for to and fro travel. They started early 6 o'clock in the morning from their home, and by the time they reach back their home, it will be at 6 they finish their office, 6:30 they will start that, and by 9:30 they will be reaching their homes back. So the amount of physical tiredness involved in this, and certain people they travel in bike or car. When I was working in ABB Bangalore, from my home I used to travel 1.5 hours a day, 90 minutes a day using a two-wheeler. If I use a four-wheeler, then that becomes 150 minutes. That is 230 minutes a day for commuting alone. How much tiredness we get, how much health issues we get, all those are reduced now. Unless otherwise there is an important meeting or certain things wherein the physical presence is needed, you need not to go. Which means you are saving a lot of time, and that time you can spend with your family members. This will give you a mental peace or satisfaction, provided that you have a happy family. It depends on you how to maintain a happy family. I don't want to go into personal things because each individual is different and they have their own set of happiness criteria and they have dissatisfaction criteria also. You can spend a lot of time with your family and as a result of it, you can have more understanding and more happiness. In general, I am talking. Again, it depends on the individual. So, coming back into the adaptability factors that are needed. These are little outline advantages which I have told. If your organization can sit down and plan on things, you can really identify how much you are really saving because of this virtualization, how much you are saving a lot. Only the infrastructure you need to develop is the information technology infrastructure, the audio video devices. It is very less compared to the overall infrastructure that you are going to make for the real activity. With this virtual activities, you can impart a lot of things. You can avoid physical travel, you can avoid pollution, reduce pollution, not avoid, reduce pollution to a little extent, maybe 5 to 10% I can say. And your health can be saved by at least 20%. There will be a lot of reduced tensions. My office is at 9 o'clock. I have to wake up at least at 7:30 or 8 o'clock to reach office at 9 o'clock. I have to commute for 30 minutes. I have to commute 2 hours. So I need to wake up at 6 o'clock. I need to start from office at 6 o'clock itself so that I can reach home by 9 o'clock. If it becomes 7 o'clock, it will be 10 o'clock next day. I may not be catching office on time. All these sort of tensions will go off. When tensions go off, your stress levels reduce. When your stress levels reduce, your body will be better, will be in a much better health state. So nowadays, a lot of foreign universities, especially the universities in US or UK, they have started offering online programs. It has been there and now they are promoting it in a huge manner because now it's going to be online. So they are simply saying enroll online, pay the fee alone, complete your course. So you are not going to go spend on travel, you are not going to spend on your accommodation and food over there, your expenses over there. You can sit back in your own country and do a lot of learning. You can sit back in your own country and you can work for any country across the globe. There is no need of visa, there is no need of work permits, there is no need of anything, any documentation work that is needed to go there and work physically. So this is saving a lot of things. And you being away from family, those things are saved. You can stay back in your hometown and carry out things globally. So, digital signatures. This can reduce if one person has to sign on say 500 documents a day during some big event. It is literally not possible to sign and the sign will not look similar. So digitalization can make you do it in a click. Don't depend at the same time we should not be addicted too much on the technology also. We have to be ready for both, but at the same time we have to adapt to the current scenario also. What are the skills we need to upgrade in ourselves? Let us see on this. Until now we have generally seen what COVID-19 has given us in terms of visualization and what benefits we are getting out of it. This current pandemic scenario, what benefits we are getting. So this also we have seen. And now, let's see about the thought process we have and how it needs to change. Yes, it looks very difficult for people who have accustomed to a habit of writing everything on paper or doing everything on paper or writing letters. Of late, I observed very thing quite common. There are certain emails which doesn't look like emails. Whatever is there on a standard letter writing, the same content is just copy pasted on an email. Email writing is different and letter writing is different. Of course, they do not. They felt that email is just electronic format of sending a letter. They might have got the thought process. It's maybe as a result of ignorance or lack of awareness, but yes, those things are to be changed in terms of business communication. When we are dealing with a lot of people and a lot of industries and across the globe, we have to follow the email etiquettes too, the visualization etiquettes too. Why I have taken this example is, this is also one of the reasons why to just explain about the hindrance or hesitation to change. They are adapting to a little, but they are not adapting to the way it is needed. They are just using that tool and technology and doing the same thing they have been habitual. Yes, it is difficult to change certain habits, but yes, according to the situation and according to the usage of technology or the ways and means to use the technology, you have to change. Okay. Let's go back to the thought process. First, adaptability. Why adaptability is must? First, let us see. Change is the permanent thing that keeps happening every day. Change is the only thing that keeps changing every day. But we have a lot of proverbs on this. But right now we are observing it, we are experiencing it in full-fledged. Even there are hourly changes happening. Leave about daily changes. There are some notifications coming in each and every hour due to this pandemic. And we are completely blindfolded what is going to happen when. So let's not wait for the things to happen to come into normalcy. Let's start, if at all we have not started, let's start everything in full-fledged. Let's do our normal things. Only thing, instead of the physical activities, physically doing those things, let's do it using technology, tools and technology in the virtual world. Nothing is going to change. Nothing is going to get impacted. If you have that tendency or willingness to adapt to this and carry out the works without stopping, you can do it much effectively. You can reach out much more people, you can reach out much more target audience, and you can complete the work in much more effective manner. Much more effective manner. You can do it. And okay. After adaptability, the thought process. First thought process, we have to change this. This is the scenario. This is going to be the future. Let's have that fixation in our mind. It is pretty difficult, but yes, we have to get that fixation in our mind in order to survive in the future. In order to survive in the future, we have to do this. There is no other option. And coming to the adaptability. Adaptability in terms of lot of things. One thing, the virtual world has given us a lot of flexibility and adaptability. Only constraint what we face is an atmosphere wherein we don't have a lot of noisiness around. That might not happen all the time, but yes, we have to try and get it done. Maybe we can use noise filtering earphones that can reduce, or maybe up to 50% of noise it can filter out. And we can fix one room in our house where we can regularly do the things online sitting there. And just because we are sitting and doing everything online, Don't stop your physical activity. Take a break every 1 hour, stretch out yourself for 5 minutes, or maybe just walk around the house, relax yourself, and then restart your work. You have to follow the health factors and the economical factors. Just because we have to do online, you cannot sit and do online things for non-stop hours and then finally getting up lot of health issues and say somebody told with online we can reduce lot of health impacts, but I have got health impacts now. No, that's not the right way to do it. We have to follow the ways and means to do it effectively according to our health conditions also. The chair, table, whatever is comfortable for you, you can get it. You need not to complain on the office that they have given a couchless chair or a couch chair, armrest is there, armrest is not there. You are going to have it personally for you. So it's going to be your choice. And much more than this, with all these online tools, you are effectively using the time. Say you are going for a physical meeting and you are waiting for a signature from your manager, and your manager is not in his desk. The paper lies on the table as it is. But assume if it is an online thing and your manager is available online, you can just make a call and say, Mr. Manager, I have sent this document to you for your approval. If I get the approval, I can do this activity. The manager can view it on his mobile or the laptop and then say, okay, we can do it, or we are not going to do it. Both he can say. Both he can say. He can do it or not do it. The result of it has come then and there itself. If the manager is out of station and he is going to come back after 10 days, you will be simply waiting for 10 days without signing on the paper. And the due date for submission to an official or an agency or a government body for some approvals, it's going to expire within the time he reaches back, then you are losing that opportunity. So, you have to come out of that mindset and start adapting to things this way. Only thing is self-analyzing of yourself. Why a lot of us are fearing to face this virtual world is because we feel that we are not good in terms of talking online. Those who have huge experience of teaching in a physical classroom or conducting board meetings every day for 30 years also, they are saying, I am not confident online in facing a camera and talking. It is not a big deal at all. See, no one who are currently doing online trainings or online classes are born speakers. It is practice. If you start doing it, you will definitely get it. Only thing you need to have that interest and willingness to do it. You have to bring in that mindset. How to bring in that mindset? First, throw out your fears. Throw out your fears. Don't worry what's going to happen tomorrow. Today we have to do this work, we have to do this work. Today we can do this work only this way, yes, do it. That's it. Don't think too much, don't confuse too much. Okay, tomorrow will it be normal? Let me wait for 10 days and see what is the situation going to happen. If I can do it, if I can conduct a board meeting by bringing in all people together, I will do it. Otherwise, later I will think to conduct a virtual meeting. No need. No need to wait that much of a time. You can simply conduct a virtual meeting and close your meeting activity. And then you can go switch on to the next work. Why to put things on pending basis? Be it online teaching, be it online learning. And yes, there are a lot of hindrances, especially when it comes to people who are living in places where the mobile networks or the internet signals are down or not that good. Yes, I do agree to that. There, government can take necessary actions, and even we can have a tie-up with the service providers and ask them to increase their infrastructure over there. And of course, if a lot of people are going and complaining that we are not getting signals, definitely they will increase the infrastructure there, seeing that yes, there is a lot of increased bandwidth usage over there. It's going to happen. Nobody is going to stop improving any things. They have to carry out it. There is no other option. They have to carry it out. So everyone is ready for it. Everyone is ready for it. Only problem is how long we will be doing it, how fast we will be doing it, how much pending we are going to keep, considering that everything will be normal, and then we can carry out that goal. Don't delay things. This is my humble and sincere request to all of you. Please do not delay any things or any approvals just because you want to have the meeting happening in person. We don't know when it's going to happen. Let's meet up in person. I mean, those who want to meet each other in person, let them meet up after the normalcy happens. Until then, why the work has to stop? Or until then, anything, the planned work that is going to start has to be put on hold. What is the need of it? There is no need of it. Is the learning going to stop? Definitely no. Is the working going to stop? Definitely no. It has to go on, it has to move on. When it has to go on and move on, why are we thinking a lot? Why are we thinking a lot about it? It is very simple. When you have to go on and move on, why you are bothered a lot? I am asking this question to all of you. Why are you bothered a lot? And you want to wait for the normalcy to happen. Why can't you do the activity right away? Why can't you do it? It all depends on our mindset to do or not to do. Yes, it all depends on our mindset to do or not to do. If our mindset says we have to do it, yes, we have to do it. That's it. If our mindset doesn't say we don't have to do it, we will not be doing it. That's the problem with a lot of us. That's the problem with a lot of us. Yes. So let's bring this back. Let's bring this back to our mind and say where we have to change. Where we have to change. And maybe taking a little too longer. You might feel I'm talking too much on it. But yes, this is much needed for the hour, so I'm talking a lot of things on it. It's not only my statement, it's the statement of the entire world right now. Those ever who are addressing any gathering online these days are talking in similar manner. The way of talking, the means of talking, the style of talking might vary, but the content is not varying. Please remember, the content is not varying. Why the content is not varying? We have to think about it. Why the content is not varying? Because this is the reality now. When the reality is this way, you cannot change it. When the reality is this, you cannot change it. So that's as simple as that. So what we have to do? What we have to do? First, let us focus on how to become online and how to carry out things online on a regular basis. How to carry out. What we have to do we have to do is, let's do things on frequent basis, on regular basis, and change our way of approach towards it. Let's adapt by adapting ourselves by changing our thought process. No need to change the thought process entirely. Simply think, yes, this is the scenario right now. In this scenario, I have to act this way. Don't bother too much about what things are going to happen, what's going to happen in future. Don't think too much. I'll say don't think too much. So simply you start doing things. That's it. If you think too much, then definitely you will be facing a lot of troubles or a lot of delays. You will be facing a lot of delays. So why to face a lot of delays? You can simply adapt to the situation. Only thing, start practicing it. If you are unable to practice it, take the guidance of someone. These days, even kids are ready to participate in online classes. They are doing it effectively. They are watching a lot of YouTube articles. Of course, they are using YouTube for a lot of fun articles also. That is different. But in general, they are doing it for a lot of things. They are doing it. So, you need not to bother much and think a lot and then confuse yourself. First and foremost thing, what we have to do is be with open mind, be ready for facing the world. We should be ready to face the world. We should be ready to face the world. If we are not ready to face the world, then what it will happen? Our survival will be a question mark. Our survival will be a question mark. So, let's not consider too much on this thing and let's not bother too much. Very simple. Let's not worry about what's going to happen. Let's be positive. First thing and foremost thing is you have to have belief and trust in the online system. Lot of us, what we observe and lot of people have observed is that they have observed this thing only. They have observed lot of hindrances and lot of problems in belief system. So when they do not have a proper belief system in anything, then they will hesitate to adapt into that situation. When they have hesitation to adapt into that situation, then obviously they are finding a lot of difficulties. So you need not to hesitate or have a mistrust on this online system. You have to have trust on the online system. You have to have trust. Otherwise, there is no point. If you do not have trust, then definitely you are not going to sustain in this world. So first you need to have trust and then you need to have belief system. Belief in the system. So when you have belief in the system, your confidence of using the system will grow. When your confidence of using the system will grow, your confidence of using the system will grow, then what happens? Then you have this. When the confidence of using this system grows, you will adapt to the virtual world. You will adapt to the virtual world. Yes. When your confidence system grows up to the extent, then automatically your belief system will grow up. Your belief system will grow up. So when your belief system grows up, automatically your usage of things, effective usage of this online mode goes up, and as a means of it, you will be ending up in being more effective. Only thing you have to do is keep your mind open to accept each and everything and act according to the situation. Only your presence of mind, decision making, quick decision making according to the situation. Say you are in a situation wherein you have to take a decision within 5 minutes. Will you take the decision in 5 minutes, or you will wait for 500 minutes, or you will wait until someone else whom you are looking for comes physically to that place and then take a decision, or you immediately make a call to them. If they are not picking up the call also, you will be sending a text message or a WhatsApp message to them indicating that yes, I am going to take this decision and I am going to handle the situation this way. You should be responsible and accountable person first. Individual. As an individual, you are responsible and accountable for a lot of things. So take up that it is working, take up that in any work, in any activity you carry out, you have certain responsibilities and accountabilities. You are going to meet that, you are going to fulfill that without any fail. So don't hesitate to do it. Just make good decisions, wise decisions, smart decisions, and move forward. At the most, you will find only environmental reasons or infrastructure reasons for difficulties in terms of doing things virtually. One is noisy background, second one is improper signals, third one is I can say your surroundings. Surroundings in the sense you don't have peace of mind in the place you are in, then obviously you will find it difficult. That is a different thing. And fourth one is your hesitation in your mindset to adapt to those conditions. You are already used to chit chat with your colleagues before work, after work. You used to spend a lot of time together with them. Now when it comes to virtual meetings, you are finding it a bit difficult to adapt yourself to the virtual meetings. To adapt yourself to the virtual meetings. That's it. So, what to do a virtual meeting? You have to do it. Yes, I am going to do it. I am going to do it the best. See, I am not a speaker in YouTube until this online webinars came in. Earlier, yes, I was a speaker. I have spoken in a lot of meetings when I was working in company in WebEx or Microsoft Link, which later converted into Skype for Business, and prior to that Lotus Notes IBM, they call it same time, that video conferencing options. Cisco webinars or WebEx meetings, we used to attend it quite since long. WebEx meetings are internal meetings, but when it is in YouTube, it's for public viewing. So we have to be much more precise and much more effective without any long delays, long pauses or unwanted content. That too, when we are doing a YouTube live, we have to be more conscious about it. It didn't come with birth or by default. We have to adapt to this situation. We have to adapt to this situation. Not only us. We, in the sense here, anybody right now who is doing YouTube live sessions on webinars or be it YouTube, be it Google Meet, be it Zoom, or be it WebEx, or be it GoToWebinar, or be it any media, those who are doing it right now, they are not much used to it. Why they are doing it right now? Why they are doing it right now? Because in this situation, this is the only option there. There is no other choice. So, it doesn't mean things are going to get normal. We can wait and then we can do it. But why to waste time? So, as we adapt, we are slowly adapting to this. We are able to conduct this virtually today without lot of travel arrangements, without lot of food and hospitality arrangements, lot of hard work. We are making it simple. Yes, still there is lot of hard work and smart work that has been put in by people who has involved in this event. But that doesn't mean the same amount of work, with the same amount of work we can do it in a realistic mode. It is definitely not possible. We need at least 100 times the workforce. We need at least 100 times the financially, it's way beyond 100x. Efforts wise, 100x is must. So, are we going to spend a lot of time, and again time is money for us. So, are we going to spend a lot of time and energy of us in conducting one event, or in this with the same amount of time and energy are we going to conduct 100 events? It's left to us. It's left to us. So, we have to move in the direction where we can make usage of anything in an effective way. Anything and everything in an effective way. That's the only choice. There is no other choice left. Okay, any queries? So based on the queries, we can take up this discussion further, as this discussion is not going to be a lecture based discussion, and only with interactions this will make more sense. This will make more sense only with interaction, more than discussion alone. The feedback link will be sent shortly, and it's working fine. Somebody has commented it's not working properly. So please and those who are spamming in YouTube, please stop this. Because of this, lot of our participants are unable to see the messages posted. And any queries? yes, there have been certain people who have been spamming the people. I don't understand why these people are spoiling this webinar session. Feedback link will be posted shortly. This is the feedback link. Presentation for this there is no specific PPT has been made because it's a wide topic and you can use this video as a reference. If you have any clarification needed, you can come back to this video and either you can post comment over here or you can email us to query@evolutioncareers.tech or you can alternatively contact to the all channels we have provided in our webinar advertisement. So no need to bother about it. Your queries will be answered even if you are sending it after 1 month also. All of you, please have your queries and yes, the feedback form is sent. So all of you please fill in the feedback form to get your e-certificates. And if you do not receive e-certificate today, kindly wait on. Within 1 week, all of you will be getting the e-certificate because there are a lot of participants. So it will take some amount of time to release all the e-certificates. Okay, I think it won't be a problem for all of you. And thanks, special thanks with the blessings of the Almighty and with the blessings of the chairman of Holy Cross College of Management and Technology, His Holiness Dr. Metropolitan. I extend my warm thanks to the organizing brain of this event, Professor Thomas Abraham, the head of the department, Department of Computer Applications, Holy Cross College of Management and Technology, Puttadi, Idiki, Kerala, and Mr. Don Richardson, Business Development Manager, Evolution Careers, Salem. These two have been working hard day and night to make this event possible and successful this much. Special thanks to the backend team, I don't know name by name, who have worked along with Professor Thomas Abraham. So I wish to extend this as a sincere thanks to the entire management and the organizing members from the Holy Cross College of Management and Technology. And very special thanks to all of the participants who have participated this in huge numbers. Right now also I am able to see there are 750 watching live on YouTube. And I am not sure how many are watching on Facebook. Definitely right now, yes, we have at least around 1000 people watching it right now. More than 2500 to 3000 people have registered for this event and they have kept watching it until the end. So this is more successful. This has become more successful just because of the continuous participants' presence until the end. This, my sincere thanks on behalf of both Evolution Careers and Holy Cross College of Management and Technology, on behalf of Dr. Metropolitan and Professor Thomas Abraham and the Holy Cross total team and Evolution Careers total team. I express my sincere thanks for all the participants and the viewers for making this international webinar truly international and most successful by your active participation. Thank you, madam.
I deem it a great honor to deliver vote of thanks in this occasion. First of all, I thank God Almighty for His blessings on this day. It's my proud and privilege to thank our college chairman, His Grace Dr. Thomas Martimotheos Metropolitan, for gracing today's international webinar. Thank you very much, His Grace, for the very valuable and thought-provoking address. I would like to express our profound gratitude to our respected manager, Sri M.K. Skaria, for his valuable support and presence in this webinar. I would like to thank our respected principal, Professor Srijesh S., for his valuable message and support. I would like to thank our distinguished speaker, Mr. Sugumar, for making excellent presentations and making this international webinar offline to online a grand success and meaningful. Now I thank our beloved HOD, Mr. Thomas Abraham, for his moral support and guidance. I am happy to express thanks to our faculty's Computer Applications Department and all other faculties of our college who have made this webinar a successful one. Last but not least, I thank all the participants from all over the world for joining this international webinar and made it as a worthwhile one. Now, Computer Applications Department of Holy Cross College of Management and Technology proudly presents an international level online quiz. All the participants are requested to check out the chat box to find the link for the quiz. Both the certificates of e-quiz and webinar will be provided within 2 months. Once again, I thank all for your cordial cooperation. Thank you.